This is a set of highlights, just cool things that people did in implementing solutions to these missions. So here what we're going to see is this robot's going to go out and it's going to flip this down, trip, get the coal car to come down, and then with just a real simple hook and grab, it's going to pick up all of those and bring them back. Now this was This was 2 missions accomplished well with real simple apparatus. Notice the light sensor underneath. It deposited stuff. It's using 2 light sensors to tell where it's at. It almost was lined up, but not quite. It both threw something out into the blue area and tried to put the solar panel on top of the house. This one right here is going to push out both the trees. Notice the light sensors there. It sends out the trees and the wind turbines. Here it's going to come over. This time it did work. Again, as I've said, if it works 9 times out of 10, it might work in competition. If it works 10 times out of 10, you got about a 90% chance of it working in competition. This one here has, again, this little hook. It's going to come over, try to flip the hook, let the railroad car go down, hook these guys, come around. This is the same one that we saw before, but it's so elegantly executed. Also notice how that arm on top is attached with 2 sets of pins. Here's another one that's going to go out, and it's going to it's using the light sensor, and it's going to spear these, and then you'll notice there's a axle on the front of it that is a touch sensor. It just reached down, it found out where it was at. Now it's going to go around and it's going to try to come over here, and it's very carefully using sensors to know where it's at. There it tripped and let the car go down, and then it's going to back up and so it doesn't hit, and then it's going to try to hook these guys and bring these guys all back. All of this in one mission, and that worked successfully. That was absolutely outstanding. A little bit tricky to make sure everything gets lined up. That could have never been done successfully repetitively without light sensors and touch sensors and using those sensors to know where you are at. A key in robotics is being able to put these attachments on quickly and accurately, and a key in robotics is using sensors. If you do not know where you are at, you are lost in space. Okay, this has come out, it's detected things, and then it's making turns, doing detections, determining exactly where it wants to be. There it saw the black line. It's going to come up, see the push sensor that told it that it was at the right spot on the house, and then it's going to back up, leave that solar panel on top, and then I think it's going to go over and get the truck here. So literally, this one did a whole group of missions successfully, all in one pass. So those things can be done, but you've got to have very careful application of sensors involved. This one here shows how a whole group of things, they've created an apparatus that they're going to leave with everything when they drive out there. And pretty soon we're going to take off here on it, and it's going to go deposit a whole group of things and then just leave them all at once. And then you'll notice the light sensor that helps it get itself lined up. It's going to come over here, trip the satellite, and then head back home. So this one here again takes out a whole group of things at once, deposits them, and then it's going to go around and using the same basic apparatus that it used, it's going to trip that down and then come back, and using that same basic apparatus to push things out, it's going to try to collect things and bring them back, which it collected a couple of those Lego devices there. Now this one here, you'll notice it's got that wheel on the front, and this one here is really key because that whole thing is attached, the piece that you see out there is attached to a push sensor, and when this thing goes up, and that roller makes it go to where they want it to go, and then the push sensor triggers it to getting the arm to flip down, and here it's taking back the truck, and then it's going to back up and go back to home. So that was really slick the way that worked. Very sophisticated. Here they've put a group of things together. Notice that little push sensor on the front of the robot there. That push sensor will let it know when it's gotten to a certain location because it's going to push on something. Even just using push sensors to pushing something in front of you that's a specific length so that it then knows where it's at. Now they built this apparatus in front. The robot knew when it hit the wall, it tripped the satellite, and then it was able to come home. Here this one's going to go over, and it's got this little thing that's going to capture all of those, and it's at the same time that it's got those captured, it's going to go try to accomplish several other things. So drop off the generator thing in the blue, and then bring the truck back. These are some really cool implementations. You've only got 2.5 minutes to accomplish everything at the table, so being able to accomplish multiple missions with one robot pass from the base going out is really important to being able to rack up a lot of points. That did a beautiful job of placing that. You'll notice it doesn't come home, its head's over here, and using some sensors it's kind of determined where it's at. And it's gonna this is at the end of a mission, and so they needed to deposit something in this blue area at the end of the mission, and so they just left the robot there with the thing on it, which is an okay thing to do. Here they're going to bring out a solar panel and try to drop that solar panel on top of the roof here. You'll notice they've used some sensors to kind of line everything up. See that expanding arm at the top threw a thing out at the same time that it dropped the other arm dropped the solar panel on top of the roof. So here we're going to see putting a group of things together. We're basically going to take the car out and leave the car there and leave the other device out in the blue area at the same time. So that was really cool the way that worked. Now they're moving some other stuff around here. This one isn't working out too well, as you could tell. Here they're taking the truck back. Here they're going to move the truck and then go out and line up and try to pick up these parts off of the oil derrick. Here they're going to take the car out, drop off the car, and then after they've dropped the car off, see there's a sensor in the front of that. You saw the little arm flip down, then this is going to go over and it's going to deposit this generator thing in the blue area, and then it brought back the truck, so it accomplished multiple things. You'll notice how complex this robot is. Notice how they've got the dam on the back of the robot. They're going to go over here, line up a bunch of stuff. They're trying to accomplish multiple things. They're going to capture those. They're going to go around here. They use the light sensor. You'll notice the light sensor turned on. They're going to go forward. They were going to try to capture these other things. This robot is really sophisticated, probably too sophisticated to get to work reliably multiple times. It would have been interesting to watch this drop off the dam. Sometimes if you get things too complicated, it's very difficult to get them to work reliably. There's elegance in simplicity.